everybody, it's Kelly and I'm back with another layout for you today. Today I'm using that sketch by Susan Stringfellow, and I'll tell you about why that sketch is important and what this is, the kind of special thing behind this layout. So I do adhere pretty closely to that sketch. If you want to go back, you can freeze your player, or YouTube in that case. The cardstock here is from Basil Avalanche, and then I took a piece of that checker paper, or the check paper, from the Paper Studio, the black and white checkered paper, which is the Hobby Lobby brand. And I'm doing that because my grandson and I are playing checkers here. So he is in love with games, and we were waiting for Santa to appear actually last year when we went away for some time together. We were just kind of waiting, and so they had this great big checkerboard, and we had a good time. We were teaching him the strategy behind it, so it was fun. I just mounted those two photos on that black polka dot paper from Amy Tangerine. It's the Better Together collection, and it's the mom and dad paper. And then I'm going to take this red circle paper from Bella Boulevard there, and that is from the baseball collection. It's the Borders and Details paper there, and I'm going to fishtail both ends of this. If you want your fishtails to match, although I'm having a hard time here, if you want your fishtails to match, when you cut one side, then put one of the little things that you cut out on it, and you'll get a much better matching banner. You can also fold it in half as well and cut it at the same time. That works as well too. So I'm echoing that in the definitely the sketch here. So the sketch does have a tag in it, so I wanted to use a tag here. I did toy with using this 3x4 card, but I thought it was a little bit too big, and I don't know, it called a little bit too much attention to itself with that big black and white piece there. So I knew I had in my Christmas stash, I thought I had some red grid paper in that stash. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm looking for that paper. And I figured that would do a nice job of kind of working with that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. I think I found another, I didn't find another. I did find that one. So there's the red grid paper. That red grid paper is from Elle Studio. It's the Good Cheer collection. It's the magical paper, and that Good Cheer collection is probably almost 5 years old now. I have a few pieces left here, and for something like this where I use it for journaling. So I'm just using my original tag to cut the shape of that, and if you have the little white reinforcers, it really kind of looks like that. But I'm okay with it not looking exactly like a tag. It's a tag, right? I cut the shape. So that was definitely in the layout there. And then the layout has a couple of circle elements in it, and that's what I'm going to replicate here. So I saw this card that said today, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my 2.5 inch Marva Uchida circle punch there, and it's not going to punch perfectly around that, but I'm okay with that. It's got kind of a fun scribbly look. And then there was another, that card's from Elle Studio, and so is this one, the two circle cards here. And I don't know what, oh my goodness, okay, that was interesting with the hair there. Obviously it was a little harder to punch. It's hard to sometimes to turn that style punch up backwards so that you can see what you're punching, but I did it anyway. So then I'm looking through my my die cuts, my little die cut boxes here, which are in just the 4x6 storage boxes, and I'm going through my Elle Studio. I have red, orange, yellow, and pink in the same one, and there's a lot of them in there, yeah, I know, but this just works for me. I could probably separate them out a little bit more, maybe another one, but right now it's okay. So then I found that piece there that said yes please. And again, I don't know what collections these are. I did kind of like that love this little arrow, I guess, whatever that is, or love whatever. By me not being able to tell you that, I ended up not using it. I was kind of saving it for maybe above the title there, above where I'm going to put the title, and the title is above the tag, and I'm going to also put my title above the tag there. So I'm just pulling out some other pieces. I'm thinking about using some more of the die cuts, so I'm pulling out black and white and red. Then I decided I wanted to add, there's a scattering of embellishments in this sketch, so I'm going to use some of those stars to work with that scattering, and those glitter foam stars came from Hobby Lobby. It's the 4th of July paper crafts from 2017, so these are now 2 years old actually. Then what I'm doing here is I'm lining my title up on a straight line there, and kind of I'm using a thinner font. So this font is the American Crafts Journal Thickers in red. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to like get that on the top of the tag and how far out the tag is going to have to go. So I'm kind of playing around a little bit with this. I'm not sure I'm going to use this font until I look at that, and I really like the way that looks. I think it works really well. And I had to MacGyver ease, by the way, so I used B's and just cut off the rounded parts. Okay, so now I'm going to do some overlapping and layering, which if you watch my videos, you know that I definitely do that. Okay, so there we go. Just getting that. And you know, these are a little bit thinner than the rest of the letters there, but actually that works out in my favor here because I can actually get them all across. So I know I want to do that. And in this particular case, I'm going to keep those El Studio pieces flat because I know that I want to use the glitter stars there. And I'm just kind of playing with where does that go. And the reason I showed you that is I don't want the bottom of the circle to line up with the join in the photo. And I also want to be mindful of where the title's placed. And right now it's right across from the title, but I'm going to change something there. So just adding a couple of the big stars in. Now there is a cluster down here on the right, bottom right, in the original layout. So I want to do something there. Just kind of playing with different elements that I could use. And then I find that little December piece, and it's not the circle that it is in the original piece, but it is an element down there. So I decided to use that. That's from their Christmas, one of their Christmas collections. Then I decided I wanted some black stars in there, so I went to my El Studio epoxy stars. It's the puffy star stickers from 2017. And they publish these every so often, and I'm just going to scatter them around here. And my scattering is a little bit different than the original layout. And the reason that's important is I'm in this really cool Facebook group called Scraptastic Inspiration. So again, Scraptastic Inspiration. We do challenges there, and they're about in this particular case, what we're doing is we're doing a Chinese whisper one. So the first week, we all took a sketch from Julie Wicken's Pinterest board, which is, that's who's running it, this group. And then we replicated that sketch. And you do it as closely as you can to the original sketch. And then there's 6 of us on each team. So you go for 6 weeks, 1 layout a week. And then at the end, we send our layouts to the person who we replicated, and then they will post them, and it's kind of cool to see the progression of what happens. So isn't that neat? It's a really cool thing. So again, that's Scraptastic Inspiration on Facebook. Just look that up and you can join us maybe for the next round. They don't just do Chinese whispers. The last one was like an alphabet challenge. So if you had a word like the word rose, you could use red. Each person got to name a thing. So red, an O could have been October afternoon, S could have been stickers, and then you made a layout using those elements. So pretty cool. Anyway, so I just used some twine from We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm showing you again. It's pretty darn close to that sketch, you guys. I had to keep it there. So all right, there's the sketch again for you, and then a still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you're all well, and I'll be back with another layout again soon. Bye!